How's it going? It's Matt Tomorrow here. I want to thank you for subscribing to my Patreon. Today we discuss acceptable levels of fuckery is not part of an orderly system. That's right. You heard that truly incorrectly all the way. Now, if you around compromised people who have varying degree levels of unacceptable things that they experience throughout any type of time that they spend there, they're going to naturally try to bring that type of behavior to a new environment. You have to understand that most of these people don't know how to act around men. They only see themselves as acting as much of an opportunist as the counterpart within society. So clearly they don't know how to act. They know how to be social chameleons. They know how to keep up bullshit and fuckery. They know how to be a jester and clown for unworthwhile women. But when it comes to collaborating, cooperating with men, and maintaining order, most of these people don't know how to do any of that shit. Because since their level is to over appeal to a woman who don't give a fuck about them, the only thing that they can possibly do is keep acting like things that she actually respects on a cyclic loop, as if she's looking all the time, even though she is not around all the time. So naturally, order to these individuals are the opposite of what they want, because they look at order as being too restrictive. But actually, order provides the most benefits to everybody. But since these people are agents of chaos, they want to try to sabotage, destroy, burrow their way in, change the meaning of, distort the history of something that can actually do some type of good, just like the manosphere. That's why the bitch ass niggas are out on a fucking tear throughout this place, trying to get attention and not trying to really solve any type of problems for anybody. This is why they talk about stagnant, unchanging, reptilian, caustic fucking women, but they have no access to actual feminine, cooperative, and conservative fucking women that could actually have you focus and concentrate on things. I'm not trying to put you into the bitch dependency category. I'm just telling you the difference between the type of women that I fuck with and they fuck with, and the type of behavior that they're socialized around and that I'm socialized around. There's a difference. Problem is, you're going to have to go to another culture and get a cultural difference. Because me, I'm not going to deal with untrained equipment. That's what I think most people are within this environment. It's simply untrained equipment. I am used to things working. I will seek out far and wide for things to work. But if they don't work, then it's time for me to go. If I stay, then I'm responsible for fixing the environment. The only thing I know how to do is destroy everything in fucking sight that doesn't fucking work. Or leave, which is the same thing, less action involved. And you got to be the same way. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with this level of foolishness forever. And you can't take the simple fact that, oh, I don't want to be alone, or, oh, I just doing it for pussy as a dumbass fucking reason for staying in unacceptable circles. Yeah. If you told yourself that I'd rather be alone or I'd rather die alone than put up with this shit, everything would be way better. But it's not, because you decided to take this bad deal. It was your dumbass fault for believing in this stupid ass issue called the black family with people that are not even trained on such issues. It's your dumbass fault for doing it. These women are not stupid. They are around compromised fucking men. They know if they get around principled men, they won't be able to run this bullshit on them. But they're around non-principled men because they can just carry and stick these motherfuckers over to everywhere. They actually socialize you into putting up with a whole bunch of bullshit that you don't need to put up with fighting. Again, all this stuff is a choice. Like, it's a choice for her to do that shit. It's a choice for you to put up with that shit. It's just that fucking simple. You don't have to do this. You can't let them run the definition of family and then try to poach her off her definition of family and then try to add her to your team of family. You can't do that. She has way more legal power than you do. She can call the police right now on your ass right now, put on the waterworks in front of a cop and have your ass locked up in a heartbeat. You think every woman don't know that they have that kind of power? Of course they know they have that kind of power. And they watch their homegirls do the same shit too. So again, you gotta be very strategic about how you get into this thing. I just treat them with no level of respect or kindness or anything else. I treat them like abject fucking reptiles. And there's nothing that you can say to me that can convince me otherwise. I've already experienced better shit. I've been overseas, I've been in the military, I've been other places. I know this ain't how women act. But I do know this is how women act when they're given an abundance of choice of some shit that they don't inherently respect. And there's no real consequences for how they act within the society because they could just turn the corner and get 50 numbers from a whole bunch of pre-thirsty fucking men that the other women have created for them inside the environment as well. So trust me, there is something wrong with this system from top to fucking bottom. There's not a singular individual that's going to be able to correct this problem. Not one. Any person who claims that they claim dominion over this type of system is a fucking fool. And you are a fucking fool for believing in such. I understand. You think that you're a failure because you can't have them appeal to you within this type of environment, but you need to go other places to see how shit actually works. So that way you can have a level and depth of hatred for shit that don't fucking work. Yes, none of this stuff is hard, but it does take putting yourself in a specific type of framework so that way you can see these things. But being overly socialized into being a bitch ass nigga is what has really destroyed this actual environment. It really wasn't the women, it was the men who kept wanting to take this bad fucking deal despite what the women were fucking doing. And once you have that shit for like more than 2 generations, the whole gene pool is fucking destroyed. And your enemy is anybody who try to talk you into taking your ass back in there as if there's nothing wrong with the system. The only thing that person is trying to do is socialize their level of consistent loss as something that's normalized for you to fix in your time, even though they never tried to fix it in their time. Again, I was raised in rural Mississippi and somehow I could figure this shit out. You got people who were raised in big ass cities around a whole bunch of shit and they couldn't figure it out. So that's all I've got. I don't think there's much more I can say on the topic. Thank you for listening. And man, tomorrow you guys have a good one.